Have you, or anyone in your team, ever wasted a lot of time talking to someone you thought might be a prospective client, only to find that they were looking to pick your brains and extract as much free information as possible from you before going to another provider elsewhere? Has it happened to you more than once? Annoying, isn't it? My name's Tim Dodd, and I help fellow professional service providers who charge by the hour, like coaches, consultants, accountants and lawyers, to find time they didn't realise they had and dramatically boost their bottom line profits. The process you're going to see here shortly has come about because I found far too much of my own time was getting wasted by brain pickers, so I decided to design a system that removed them from the equation for good. The result is that now I only get to talk with prospects who understand what I do, have seen how I'm able to do it, and want me to design something similar for them, because as you'll see later on, it's certainly working for me now. And provided you stay until the end, I promise you'll witness an almost foolproof method for identifying your best prospects, the ones who are virtually ready to engage you right there and then, no matter what service it is that you provide. But more importantly, whilst I'm sure you'll already have come across some of what you'll see here over the next few minutes, the real reason you're probably watching is that some part of the process you currently use to qualify prospects isn't working as well as you'd like it to. So if you pay attention and watch closely for the next 7 or 8 minutes, I promise you'll get to see the vital piece of the jigsaw you've almost certainly been missing up until now, along with how you can quickly cut the time you spend with unqualified prospects by over 25%, how to easily set up your own highly engaging online sales funnel, and a brand new strategy you could implement almost immediately to attract at least 1 new client per month if you structure it properly. But we'll get onto all of that shortly. So why is this model different from any others that you may have seen? Well, it's because of how it's been arrived at and the tools that it uses. You've no doubt heard the saying that it only takes one bad apple to spoil the barrel. Well, it's the same with your sales funnel. One bad process can have a hugely detrimental effect on your revenue. If you don't clearly identify your best prospects up front, you end up speaking with many more brain pickers, which makes it much more difficult to sell your services. And obviously, if you don't sell your services, your business suffers. And my business was suffering because I spent far too much time with these brain pickers who would ask me for advice on how they could implement various processes within their business, and I'd happily help them, thinking they were genuine prospects who would be keen to become clients after being helped. How naive was that? As a chartered accountant, you'd have thought I'd know better, and with hindsight, should definitely have charged them by the hour. That being said, maybe I wasn't cut out to be an accountant, because shortly after qualifying, I left Ernst Young and found myself employed by a forward-thinking software house that, funnily enough, provided software to firms of accountants. A little while later, I became the practice manager of an international firm of accountants, where I was instrumental in installing and implementing some new practice management software throughout the firm, as well as being responsible for writing the associated operating procedures for them. After about 3 years there, I moved on again and started working as a practice management consultant, and as database technology has become more advanced, I've moved more into the realm of client relationship management software, specialising in the disciplines and processes required to make firms run more smoothly, operate more profitably, and actually grow faster. But I've got to be honest with you here and tell you that over the years I've got loads of things wrong. Fortunately, I've learned from many of them, and as a result, on the other side of the coin, I've also managed to get quite a few things very right as well. And after being self-employed as a specialist consultant to professional service providers for well over 10 years now, I've learned a lot. I've learned that I love serving clients, but don't really enjoy selling. I love coaching and developing individuals, but dislike chasing prospects. I love it when clients recommend me, but I'm not very good at asking for referrals. And I love learning new strategies that really work, but despise wasting money on theory-based training. I love implementing new automated solutions and detest outdated buggy old software. But most of all, I love helping my clients to save time and produce even better results than they ever expected. And even though I might wish I could have come up with it sooner, because it's always been difficult finding enough time to meet with new prospects, the tools and resources I now use in the simple solution to my old problem weren't available back then, so I ended up having to survive the hard way. And the hard way over the years has involved a combination of cold calling, networking, telesales, advertising, search engine optimization and website development, and of course a variety of seminars and workshops, both as an attendee and a presenter. But you're not here because you want to know how I arrived at the solution. You just want to know how it's possible to qualify prospects more efficiently than you do at the moment. So it's about time we took a quick look at my easy way to get your best prospects calling you. Unless, of course, you'd prefer to carry on chasing after them, in which case you may as well stop watching now. Of course, I'm only joking, because I know this works, and in the last few days alone, I've spoken to more than a dozen excellent prospects who connected with me to discuss how their business could use this process to identify the best prospects for their services in the same way that I do. And guess what? They all could, even though it's likely that a few doubters won't, which really says more about them than about the process. The only reason it might not work for you is if you don't have one of the three key must-have elements in place. Firstly, you must have a very clear picture in your mind who your target market is, what your ideal client looks like, and where they tend to hang out. Secondly, you must find out whether people really want your service before trying to discover whether they meet your specific client criteria or not. And thirdly, you must be disciplined and ensure that only people who truly appreciate just how much your service could be worth to them actually get to speak with you. It's also important that your promotional material is designed to be highly educational and professionally delivered, as opposed to being too salesy, which is a challenge many unprofessional service providers face. When it comes down to it, there are three main reasons why most professional service providers, like me, are better off educating prospects rather than trying to sell to them. First up, selling's not our core area of competence, so we're often inconsistent and therefore not particularly good at it. Secondly, we always tend to be busy servicing existing clients, so can't afford to spend very much time chasing up after new ones. And finally, fundamentally, we don't actually enjoy the sales process and therefore tend to leave it until the last minute. As a professional service provider, your objective is to provide proof to your prospects that you're an expert in your field, whilst clearly demonstrating how, by engaging you, your service will remove another challenge that they've been putting off facing up to. Are you still with me? So how can we do that? Well, do you have any PowerPoint slides from past presentations that you've made, which, with a little tweaking, you can include as part of your own prospect qualification process? And if you're thinking you might have, you could very soon find yourself speaking with significantly more highly qualified prospects and avoid ever having to talk to any more brain pickers who just want your advice but aren't prepared to pay for it. Because that's what I do. As a professional business process mechanic, I make PowerPoint work harder for you by incorporating it as part of a highly efficient prospect prioritization process. But please note, it's only one part of that process, so pay close attention to the next couple of slides in order to see what else is involved, because there's some other very smart new software which you must use that in all probability you won't have heard about yet, which makes the whole process run like clockwork and converts even more of your best prospects into repeat clients faster. But I can't give the whole process away to everyone because some of my clients paid me a lot of money for it and I don't want to upset them too much. Let me think for a second. What can we do here? Hang on, I've got an idea. Are you on Skype? I do normally charge clients for valuable information like this, but I'm currently testing a new system that I'm determined to make work, so this could prove beneficial for both of us here. Because it uses Skype, and for a short time, I'm offering a few exclusive free half-hour Skype consultations where I'll walk you through the complete process. We'll also cover, undoubtedly, the best resource for finding your ideal clients and how you're able to access them at will when you're shown how to automatically qualify leads so that you only end up speaking with prospects who are genuinely interested in your service proposition, and a fantastic free online resource that makes scheduling appointments a piece of cake. You can book an exclusive half-hour slot with me by accessing my online diary at www.seehearhow.com or by clicking the button below. But you better be quick, because I'm only offering a very limited number of these free sessions, and when the schedule's full, that's it. They're all gone. No more freebies. And if you're not sure whether it'll be worth half an hour of your time, just ask yourself this. What if all you learned was how you can quickly reduce the time you waste with unqualified prospects by 25%? Wouldn't that prove worth your while? And if you were also to be shown how to structure a highly effective online sales funnel, that would surely make it half an hour of your time well spent. And what if you actually did learn a new method proven to engage clients? How much could that be worth to you over time? Go on, don't hang about here. See if there are any convenient slots left and reserve one immediately if you find one available. I promise that you've absolutely nothing to lose here. Just the opportunity to hear about some valuable new tools you can use to gain back some of the time you currently waste by talking to the wrong prospects and those despicable brain pickers. And finally, let me ask you one last question. What is your time really worth? What if you only spoke to highly qualified prospects? How much better use of your time would that be? And how many more prospects would you think you'd now be able to turn into actual live clients? Click on the button below right now and book your free consultation. I guarantee you'll be absolutely delighted by what you learn. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you again very soon. Go on, click that button now. Don't miss out again.